Hey everybody, this is Total Gamer Junkie here, and today I'd like to discuss with you The Walking Dead, the final season. Now, the trailer came out a couple of days ago, and I'd like to talk about that. Now, it has been confirmed that there are only 4 episodes. Now, to me, I don't know, since I played Life is Strange Before the Storm, that had 3 episodes plus 1 bonus one, which is 4. So when I heard there was 4, I was like, it's kind of like copying Before the Storm. But that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is that how they're going to pull this off. Because normally each one there's 5 episodes. Like, with the Michonne miniseries, 3 episodes, that was good. Like, they managed to pull that off. But for the final season, it's just, I don't know. It's just hard to take in, you know. Now, we can all agree that the New Frontier, worst one, okay? There were some bits that were good in it, but ultimately it was a letdown. Now, what I'm worried about here is that the final season might be worse than the New Frontier, which I hope, personally, it isn't. Which I doubt, like, I'm 100% sure it won't be worse. But if it is, like, I can tell you right now, we're all gonna fucking riot. Yeah, but anyways, on to the game. Now, what I like to believe is, like, what I think is gonna happen is, they might do something like in Minecraft Story Mode. You know how there were 5 episodes, and then you bought the DLC, so you got an extra 3 episodes up, so it was 8. I think they might do something like this. You know what I mean? So it's like after the game finishes, we play this DLC, and we get extra episodes. Because it stands to reason, if it's the final season, there should be final DLC. At least that's my thought. Now, in the image here with Clementine, I just wanted to notice that, like, I've been going over the images and the trailer, and if you notice, she doesn't have any of the marks she did in the New Frontier. You know, like if you with Kenny, she gets a scar on the forehead. At Wellington, with Edith, she gets shot across the face. See, nothing there, nothing on the forehead or face. Even if you look down at her hand, there's no tattoo of AJ. And there's no missing finger. Which is weird to me. Now, to me, like, maybe they just used a model, like, where nothing was happening, like nothing was removed, as to not spoil it or something, which seems pretty stupid to me. Now, in the next image, with Clementine here, I think that she's at that school, but she's in a basement, because going down the stairs, the way it's angled, it's kind of like in Season 2, if you choose to go with Nick in Episode 1, and you end up in that, like, wine place, you know, the shutters and that, kind of looks like that to me, in my opinion. And here she's fighting off a walker, which I'm very interested to see how this new walker combat works. Like, this is maybe she runs into one by accident, you know, and she has to fight it off. Because I really would like to see how that works out. Now, this next image is interesting as well. As you can see, Clem and AJ is sitting there, and there are a bunch of walkers. Now, are they hiding? Are the walkers being drawn off somewhere else? I don't know. Like, maybe this image isn't even happening, you know? Like, when they first showed the New Frontier trailer, it showed Clementine missing a finger, but you only got the missing finger if you got the alone ending, so maybe they, like, just added this background in, but it's not really there. Now, this guy, Marlon, I'm very, he's one of the characters I'm really wanted to know, because it's described like he's a hard character, but he's soft on the inside. And I honestly would like to see how this guy plays out, because you never know. It could be like he could be like another Kenny personality or something like that. Because for the teenagers, honestly, I know people are hating it, but honestly, I personally like it. I like how Clementine is with people in her age group. Now, this Lewis, honestly, this one is, I really want to talk to this guy, because apparently he tries to keep up with the style and everything, you know, to keep fashion alive or whatever it is. So I'm really interested in meeting him, because, well, you know, I'd like to see. I think, like, personally, he will be my favorite. Alright, next is Violet. Now, a few things in the concept are like, maybe, because it said they're terrifying, there are consequential choices, like big decisions. Maybe that cast on her leg there, maybe that's a choice Clem makes. She does something, and as a result, she gets a cast on her leg. Like, because honestly, I would like to see, like, major consequences, because in the New Frontier, the consequences didn't really feel that good. Like, episode 5 of season 2, those choices really did matter. Like, Heel of 10, for example. In the next image, you'll see how his face is burnt. Maybe his face is fine, and Clementine makes a difficult choice, and as a result, he gets his face burnt. Now, that would be very interesting. I would love for that to be a choice. Like, not that I'm going to purposely, like, make his face go scarred, you know what I mean, but all honesty, it's just pretty interesting. Like, right here, like, and if it's not a choice, I'd like to know how he got those scars. Now, obviously, I think him and AJ are going to be good friends. At least that's my opinion, because 10 is obviously 10, and AJ would be 4 or 5, assuming, hold on. Yeah, 4 or 5. Now, what else is there? The next image that's just gonna come up. We're just gonna talk about that in a minute. Just hold on. Yeah, here, now as we can see, the top of the stairs, it's Clementine. Because if you're noticing, like, well, when you read the description, she has to lead, for the new trailer, she has to lead these people, so she's the leader. Then they also mentioned that someone from season 1 would appear. Now, in case you don't know, the guy that voices Omi said that in season 2, episode 1, when you hear that gunshot when Crystal's with the scavengers, she doesn't get shot. So there's a possibility that she could be in the game. But my personal opinion, I would like to see Lily. I'd like to see Clementine and Lily kind of like have a friendship, you know, like, or maybe have a rivalry like she did with Kenny. You know, Lily with Kenny, not Clem with Kenny, of course not. Yeah, but honestly, I'd like to see that. And this place here too, it's like a train station, you know. I think this one was, like, we saw a house being similar like that. Like, the house in the background here, this is, in that car is where Clementine kills the walker, and there's like a house over there. Maybe this is where these two are staying, and Clementine bumps into them. Maybe that's how she meets Violet and 10 for the first time, and they introduce her to the school and that's where Clem will meet Molly or Krista or Lily, whoever it is. Fingers crossed it's Lily. Unless that jinxes it, and unfingers crossed. Yeah, so I would just really, really love to see it. Like graphics here are just like outstanding. There are a few things I would like to see Telltale do. Like, one of the things, for example, is there are various scenes, you know, like in that demo that got leaked, you see Clementine isn't wearing a hat. You know, who's to say, like, maybe choosing your clothes is optional in that? Because that would be pretty cool, like they did in Before the Storm. That was one of my personal favorite features, because I replayed that again and again, equipping Chloe with all sorts of different clothes, you know, and just going through the playthrough. Now, I'm sure you're all aware that the pre-orders have come out. Now, I'm obviously pre-ordering this game, but one of the pre-orders said that one of the things on the forums I read said, if you pre-order it, then you get access to the previous Walking Dead games. Now, I don't know if you get those immediately, or it's like wait until New Frontier comes out. Like, I think you'd get access to them immediately, because it'd be pretty stupid to wait until they come out. Because I got season 1, 2, 3 in the Michonne miniseries, but I don't have the collector's edition with the rehands, which I will be putting Walking Dead videos on my channel when I get that game. Now, obviously, I'm going to be finishing all 19 episodes before we get up to this, because, you know, Season 1, 5 plus 400 days, which is 6. Season 2, 5, which is basically 11. New Frontier, 16. Then we have Restraint miniseries, that's 3, so it's 19. Now personally, I'd like to know everyone's opinion on what you all think is going to happen. And this is one of the things that I think is going to happen. Now, when Clem asks AJ, what do you do if I get bit? Now, I've noticed people saying, oh no, this is Telltale foreshadowing Clementine dying. But that's not what I personally think. What I think it is, now this would be pretty good for Telltale to do. What it is what if her death is optional? Now that would be a pretty good choice right there. Maybe she gets bit in episode 3 in some people's playthroughs, and in others she doesn't. So when you play the game in one playthrough, she's alive, while in the other playthrough she dies. Now that would be pretty good choices, because what they did with Telltale Batman, what they did with the Joker in episode 5, now that was fucking brilliant. It felt like I was playing 2 completely different episodes, and I really enjoyed that. And I'd like for choices like that episode 5, because episode 4 really had an impact on who the Joker became in episode 5. Now, choices like that, I would love to see in this, real, proper choices. Because don't get me wrong, there were choices like in season 1 and 2, but New Frontier, it's hardly, really to me, the only choice that felt, worth it was Conrad. Because depending on your choices, he can die in episode 2, 3, or 4. Or he can live to episode 5, and that was pretty cool in my opinion. Which brings me to my next part of the video. Now, when the announcement trailer came out, you had Melissa Hutchinson and a bunch of other people talking about Clementine's story from the beginning towards the end. Now, one of these people was a woman named Alyssa Finley. I think that was her last name. Now, she's in the video. She said, "Who's Clem gonna be? Who's Clem gonna be with? And how Clem ends up is entirely up to players." Now, this strikes me as interesting. Who's she gonna be? Now, it says if you go read the trailer description for this trailer, the last bullet, it says Clem will have to make some tough choices in that. Maybe she could. One of the choices is will you and the group will everyone be equal, or is Clementine just going to be a take charge leader? Like how Kenny was when they were all arguing to go to Wellington or head back south, and he was just saying, I got the truck working, so I say where we're going. Maybe Clem could be like that. Maybe she could be a dictator of the group. And depending how you do it, maybe her personality will change too. Maybe she can become cruel and cold towards the survivors. Now, who she'll end up with. Now, I've seen people saying, oh, well, she'll obviously go back to the New Frontier in one of the endings and that, or she'll stay with the group, but that's not what I think. What I think is going to happen is, who she'll end up with is romantically. Out of Lewis, Marlone, and Violet. Now, this is just pure speculation. Honestly, I'm just reading between the lines here, because everyone's, assuming one thing. I'm trying to, just put all the pieces together. Just, try and see every outcome. Now, which wouldn't be, a romance wouldn't be too far-fetched, because in Telltale's Batman Season 1 and 2, they actually managed to pull that off. With Selena and Bruce, they could be friends, they could be lovers, or they could be enemies. And that was pretty good, cool, in my opinion, how they did that. Now, how she'll end up. Now, this is what, like I said before, I believe her death will be optional. Which would be, if it is optional, then, in my opinion, that's pretty cool. Because you can't have, they can't, kill her off, because that's what everyone's expecting because of the trailer, What happens if I get bit? Happens. How she will end up. To me, this is optional. Her death isn't written in stone. Mainly because they probably haven't written the 4th episode. But that's what it means to me. Optional. And I can't stress this enough. Optional. I just keep saying it. Yeah, but I just want all of you to take a good think of that, because I personally think that this is just my honest opinion. This is what I believe. You don't have to believe it. You can call me a bullshitter or whatever. But the fact is, until we actually play the episodes, we won't know for certain. Some of this might be right, none of it might be right. But hey, we won't know until August. So anyways, this is the end of my video. I hope you all enjoyed this, and let me know your thoughts. If you liked it, leave a like, or if you hated it, leave a dislike. Whatever. This is Total Gamer Junkie, signing off.